Hi, I'm Jalen Rose, and welcome to the Renaissance Man podcast, proudly presented by the New York Post. Our next guest is a powerhouse in the beauty industry. Bobbi Brown is a professional makeup artist, best-selling author, and entrepreneur, best known for her billion-dollar makeup line, Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. Since leaving the company in 2016, however, she has launched her own lifestyle-inspired wellness line, Evolution 18, and a new makeup line called Jones Road. Please welcome Bobbi Brown to the Renaissance Man.
So nice to talk to you. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate the support. And you actually listen to the show?
I do.
And you're a fan of the program?
I do, and I actually listen to it while I'm cleaning the kitchen after my kids have, cooked and made dinner. So it really gets me through those moments. But I'm such a fan, and I think how you're doing it is so epic that I asked my team on my podcast to please listen, because I just think you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. And growing up listening to my mother play 33s and 45s on a component set, cleaning up on weekends, I understand that's really when you focused, when you're cleaning up, right?
You're not kidding, and at least now we have something to do, so we're not just cleaning up and aggravated that we're the only ones cleaning.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for joining me. So where did you grow up and how did you discover your passion for makeup?
I grew up in Chicago, actually the suburbs of Chicago, a small town called Wilmette. Went to New Trier High School. And if you ask me about my high school years, I don't remember a ton. It was the 70s. It was fun. I was not a student. I actually felt that I wasn't smart enough. I was bored to death in all the classes. And, I didn't get the greatest grades, except when it was art or an amazing teacher or something that I thought was interesting. And my parents really thought that I would probably just get married and not really, do anything. So I think I've proven to them differently. But, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my mother did the best thing. And I tell this story all the time, where she sat me down and said, "You got to go to college." And I said, "But Mom, I don't know what I want to do." She said, "Forget what you want to do. If today's your birthday, you can do anything you want in the world. What would you do?" And I said, "I want to play with makeup at Marshall Fields." She said, "Well, I'm sure there's a college." I found Emerson College in Boston. And I went there and I studied theatrical makeup and minored in photography, not knowing what I was going to do. And somehow it worked out.
Incredible. So I was born in 1973, and you talked about being a child of the 70s. So growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, what was your childhood like?
In the beginning, it was pretty normal. My parents were married at 20 and 21, had 3 kids before they were 25, lived in, a small little house, and my dad was a lawyer going to work every day. My mom, a homemaker. I mean, it was kind of boring, but fine, loving and wonderful. And, most of my inner struggles were more with me. I'm the oldest kid. And as I said, I struggled in school. I'm 5 foot tall. I never felt that I was, pretty enough, smart enough, any of those things. And those things kind of, they could either hurt you or they could help you. It's given me the drive to say, basically, watch this. Mrs. Greenblatt, my 3rd grade teacher, if you're listening to this podcast, I know you're not. Guess what? I did it anyways.
She did it anyways. And yes, she's listening, because we're highly ranked and rated. Everybody's listening, and they're going to make sure they hear this episode. And the thing about overcoming that adversity, and we hear a lot of people now being more open about if that behavior as a child caused anxiety or depression. Like, how did you overcome those challenges and also keep your entrepreneurial spirit?
Well, I think, one of the things that I think has helped my success is I'm really naive. I'm really naive, and I don't think something's not going to work out. I'm not afraid. And if it doesn't work out, I'll figure out another way or something else to do. I think my drive came from watching my Papa Sam, who was a Cadillac dealer, work on his business. I'm 5 foot tall. I think he might have been 5'2". I don't know, the short Jewish guy, tough talking guy that was friends with everybody, any age, any race, any person. He was friends with, all the gangsters in Chicago, put it that way. And I just became very comfortable being around, different people. And I think that just also gave me my drive. Like, I could do this. He came from Russia without a nickel in his pocket. And you know what? He accomplished something. And to this day, when I'm in these meetings, and I was on President Obama's, council, and I remember looking up in the air and saying to Papa Sam, Papa, watch me, look what, and I'm so proud of where I've come because of what my grandfather did.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And I'm pretty sure, like you mentioned, he's looking down on you, extremely proud of everything you accomplished. But also, you talked about struggling in school. And as somebody that was an honor roll student in school and was a Dean's List student in college, it was a part of my journey as an athlete. So for you getting into your field, how challenging was that for you to get other people to believe in your goals and the turbulence you finally had to overcome before you started feeling like you were chasing your actual goals?
Well, I didn't know what my goals were at the time. After college, I moved to New York and I thought, let me just freelance on the side to be a makeup artist. I didn't even know what that meant. And growing up in Chicago, being the shortest, I had, my self-esteem issues. All my friends were cheerleaders and basketball players, and I was just the short, cute kid. Mm-hmm. And what do? I go into the fashion industry where everyone's got one name, Linda, Christy, Naomi, and I'm at, fashion weeks and on Vogue sets. I started to, build a career for myself, and I really had to talk myself in to what mattered, and being comfortable in my skin is what mattered, because I couldn't compare myself to them. I would lose. I'd go to the Met Ball, and if I worried about what I was wearing, instead of like, being in an elevator with someone cool and interesting, like Common,
right.
I'm like, hey, Common, I introduced myself. I'm just, I find similarities probably in you and I. Like, we can't believe that we are in this position where we could meet anyone, magic could happen. There's so many cool things out there. I know I'm not done. I'm 5 years out of leaving the one company that I was, very successful in. And I left not knowing what I was going to do. And to me, I see opportunities where other people see obstacles.
One of my favorite MLK quotes, you just alluded to it, is basically faith is taking the first step without seeing the entire staircase. And in theory, that's what you chose to do. So what has that period been like for you?
Well, I'm someone that is very visual. I'm very curious. I always have been. And I always think, what if? Like, what if? Wow, what if? Like, I wanted to do a palette of eyeshadows at Starbucks. So I found my way to Howard Schultz, who was the CEO at the time. And I said to him, how cool would it be to have a palette of eyeshadows in names of coffee, espresso, cafe? And he thought it was the dumbest idea he ever heard. And I said, I thought it would have been so cool. And you know what? It would have been sitting at the counter. People get their espresso and they grab a wake up your eyes. So he didn't want it. It was okay. I still put it out in the market and sold it. So, I'm not afraid to try things, and things don't work out and you feel bad for a second, and I just process it and let it go. So
what about the people that are listening right now and they say, oh, she's a makeup artist, I don't wear makeup. But the world, as you know, because you live it, extends beyond fashion, right? And I remember as a child, the Thriller video was going to come on and us running home to watch the debut of MJ's video. And for me, it was the first time that I kind of saw the special effects makeup on MJ. And since the makeup application, it's just so vast, Are you inspired by techniques or applications trends outside of beauty?
Well, I'm inspired by all of it, but honestly, if the women that know me, I don't really like makeup. Okay. I like makeup that makes you look like you're not wearing any. And my new company is all about makeup that just makes you look better. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but like hashtag.
That you are. Say whatever you want. You're a Renaissance man. Say it with your chest.
My hashtag is how not to look like shit. And that's, to me, why I wear makeup. It's why I think a lot of women wear makeup. And, I don't believe in trying to change your face. I believe in enhancing it, making you look not tired, covering a blemish. I believe in beauty from the inside out, health and wellness. But even if you don't wear makeup, I am a serial entrepreneur. I have a photo and TV studio. I have a hotel in Montclair, New Jersey called The George. I have a wellness brand, Evolution 18, which sells at Walmart, which is, affordable healthcare for all. And I've got Jones Road, a direct-to-consumer brand. And, I don't know if that's the last thing I'm going to do either. And why? I don't have any hobbies. I don't play golf. I don't play tennis. I just love being part of a group of people creating things. And, I just love trying things.
And you started working as a makeup professional in the 80s. And I'm sure since then a lot has changed. So what has changed the most, since you started out in this industry?
Well, so much has changed and so much needs to change further. But what has changed is social media. I mean, you don't need to do market research. You just ask the people on social media. You also don't need to do big advertisement. You don't need to be in a retailer. So, and now you could be transparent. You can actually tell people why something's not launching or why something melted en route. The formula wasn't right, where you would never do that before. So there is much more, like realness and just talking to people the way people like to be talked to. So that has changed a lot.
And you talked about Howard Schultz and your potential connection with Starbucks, but at the time he didn't see it. Well, coincidentally, Rihanna launched her Fenty Beauty in 2017. And when it dropped, it received universal praise for offering 40 shade ranges. So what was it like watching something like this happen in professional beauty?
Well, I'm thrilled, of course. And I was known when I was at the company for making foundations for all people, for people of color. Honestly, it was so important to me that I would have meetings with my marketing team that would want to, get rid of the low sellers. And I looked at the low sellers, and the low sellers were all colored for my Black friends. And I'm like, no, guys, take some of your money and market it to the Black audience.
Ding, 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 ding. We wear makeup, we spend money, we influence culture.
So you don't wear makeup. And, if you ask anyone, and I could go from Oprah to Deborah Roberts, they all wore these foundations. And Oprah said to me on her show, how does a little Jewish girl know how to make colors for our skin? And when Oprah said, I wear 6, 7, and 8, we sold out in the entire country. People were buying these colors and they didn't even have her skin color, but if Oprah wanted it, so I know that. And when Fenty came out and had 40 shades, I don't know if you need 40 shades, but good. It was amazing. And, she wasn't the first, but people are following now. And I think, a lot of it with makeup, you might think you have colors for women of color, but when you put it on the face, it looks ashy, like you've got some kind of pink thing on your face. So it's really important to me that when you put makeup on, I don't care if you're Italian, I don't care if you're Asian, I don't care if you're Black, it's got to just look like you have something covered up, but you're not wearing makeup. So that's important to me.
I'm glad you went there, because I've heard men get flack for saying things like, I want a girl with no makeup. But natural beauty is mainly because we don't realize a lot of the time that they're actually wearing makeup, but you can't tell that they're wearing it. So can you describe the concept of the no makeup look?
Yes, no makeup is that your skin looks even It looks healthy. You've got redness gone from around your nose or where you have it. Your uneven skin is even. You look like basically, you know, a teenage supermodel. And honestly, you have makeup on, but when you're looking up close, you don't see it. When you put a blush on, it's the color of your cheeks when you exercise. When, you know, you, of course, you're going to wear black mascara because that makes your eyes pop out. And by the way, I have a lot of men friends that are on TV and they wear the makeup because they don't want to look tired. So do you wear makeup when you're on TV?
Yes, ma'am. And I'm glad you went there because I work 7 days a week. I'm affiliated with 3 shows on ESPN. I'm affiliated with writing a column and doing a podcast with the New York Post. And I don't want to look tired. And so thank you very much for the package that you guys sent me, because I've been on the road and I got home and realized you sent me a package and I will be wearing it.
Yeah, well, I'll have to make sure the pencils work, but they do when you have the right color. Honestly, it's magic. And my friend, who's a commissioner of one of the major sports leagues, takes it with him and hands it to the makeup artist, you know, on the TV station there and fixes it. But, you know, we haven't even talked about, you know, my love of basketball.
Let's talk about it. Outside of Chicago, are you a Bulls fan?
Course. My dad was best friends with Michael's, you know, manager, or Johnny Bach, his whatever. So yes, very big Chicago Bulls, very big Michael Jordan fan. How do you not?
Favorite Johnny Bach, favorite Michael Jordan story? You know, I played post Jordan and we didn't win 6 championships and I didn't get a statue. So what are some of your favorite memories?
Well, my favorite memories were when my husband and I sold Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. We said, all right, what do we want to buy? We had a nice house. We had a nice car. We bought floor seats to the Nets when they were in New Jersey. So I became friends with Jason Kidd and Jason Williams and all those guys. You know, you're on the floor, you meet everyone. And when Michael Jordan came, I think it was Derek Coleman's wife, Gina, said, you want to meet him? And, you know, I'm going to get you a basketball signed. You know, I didn't get to meet him. He was a little busy, but I did get to.
He's kind of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he's Michael Jordan, but I do see him in a place I go to in the Bahamas. And, you know, I'm starstruck. I've only been starstruck twice, to him and once to George Clooney. Otherwise, I go up to anyone. I actually went up to Yao Ming in an elevator, and that was not easy outside an elevator. You know, he's
7'6"
and I'm 5'0", and my head was up. I'm not sure he even heard me, but I did get my picture. I will send you my picture with him. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen.
Please send it. I'll use it for the podcast and or the column. Also, since you have front row seats in particular, I have to ask you, best game, performance, or situation that you saw up front at an NBA game?
Well, the Nets play when they were in the playoffs. I think, you know, in New Jersey, they were there. They were in it once, you know, so that was like a really big deal. But we had a table on the floor, and in front of us, you know, you'd have Beyonce and Jay-Z, and, you know, yes, I was watching the game. I'm the mother of 3 boys and 2 nephews, so I'm surrounded by this. I even have our family name on a wall at Emerson in the gym. So the urban myth is Bobbi Brown played basketball at Emerson, which I think is really funny. They probably don't, you know, the kids don't know who I am, but they think I was a basketball player there.
Just tell them don't be cruel, or it's my prerogative. So tell me about all of the puns and or the name recognition and the cross branding, good, bad, or indifferent, being associated with the former member of New Edition, same name.
Well, I got to meet Bobbi Brown years ago when I was hired to do Whitney's makeup. And basically he just said to me, you know, nice name. And I said, yeah, you too. And that was the only connection with him. That was a long time ago. But I was once in Chicago outside of the Four Seasons Hotel waiting for my car to pick me up to go live on Oprah. And I kept calling, they're not here, they're not here. And I would go over to the limousines and they'd look at me and like shoo me away. And finally I called someone back in my office, and they called and they said, he's there. Some guy was looking for the other Bobbi Brown. He kept shooting me away. I literally almost like missed my, you know, on stage with Oprah moment.
And that's what makes that story crazy, because they mistake you for him and were about to not give you a ride, but yet one of y'all was going to be on Oprah.
Right, exactly. You know what? It's worked well, and people still say Bobbi Brown. You know, I don't own my name for the company, but it's still who I am. It's still my name. So, you know, it's interesting.
I bet it can be, but also,
My dad's name is James Brown.
is it? So
Yeah.
you got to tell me some stories about you guys traveling, getting in and out of hotels, something with these legendary names.
You know, it's really funny. My dad, when he was an attorney, he had a big giant James Brown poster behind his desk. You know, my dad is always like a totally cool guy. And so every time the clients come in, they're like, hey, and my dad always says the same thing. I feel good. Like that's his thing. He said it at my wedding. He said it on the Today Show to Al Roker. You know, he's a really funny guy. So no, we have it down, but we have our song and dance. For sure.
That is awesome. But also, I want to make sure I get this in there because in addition to your new makeup line, Jones Road, you also launched a health and wellness brand called Evolution 18, as I mentioned earlier, that mirrors your commitment to holistic living. What is the biggest difference between what you did with Bobbi Brown Cosmetics and your mission with Jones Road?
Well, my biggest difference is that Jones Road is a clean brand. You know, when I left the company, I went back to school and got my degree as a health coach because I know the better you feel, the better you look. And that's what I want to teach people. It's everything. It's stress reduction, it's happiness, it's having a life, it's balance. I'm sure you don't have it. You know,
No, I'm working on it.
Okay.
That's my therapy. That's my therapy.
Yeah, well, I'm good at that. I have figured that out. I've raised 3 kids and married 32 years,
awesome.
And I'm still a crazy entrepreneur. So you know, I got secrets for that. But it's hard. You know, it's hard. It's life. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. But if I am hydrated, I'm eating well, I get some sleep. You know what? I could do more work. I could, like, the kids in my office are like, how do you do all that? You know, I'm 64 years old. Like, I'm not a kid.
64 years old?
Yeah. And I haven't shot anything in my face.
Hey, husband and kids.
Yeah.
I'm just complimenting her. I did not realize. So you look amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I got to stop saying that. But, you know, so many people are embarrassed of where they came from. They're embarrassed of, you know, what they look like, their age. It's like people got to stop feeling bad about who they are and own it and just be like, it's okay. Just become a better version of whatever you are.
Correct. Is that what inspired your interest in holistic living?
It very much so. You know, I'm a foodie. I love really good restaurants. I love a good martini.
Check.
Yeah. You know, I can't help it. I eat some French fries when I drink a martini. So I've learned that being a health coach, I can have 1 Tito's on the rocks with cucumber and lemon, and I won't eat the fries. If I have 2, I will eat the fries. So I make a conscious decision. Am I going to eat the fries? And on a Saturday night, I will, if the fries are worth it.
You just inspired me as somebody that loves fries, somebody that now needs to add cucumber to his lemon with his beverage.
Oh no, it's so good because when I'm done drinking, I feel hydrated. I feel I'm not alkaline. So it's like, there's one here that I have. It's cucumber juice. It is fresh lemon juice, and it's mint and a shot of Tito's, and you drink it. And I rarely have a second one, you know, because Tito's goes down really quickly.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Well, you just inspired me and helped me on my health kick, because I've decided if I'm going to do certain things, as you just acknowledged, at least try to do the holistic version of it.
Yeah. Because, and I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying, like, I'm not one of those people. You can't eat toast. You can't eat this. You can't have
moderation.
Moderation and the best version of it. Have really good sourdough bread. Don't eat Wonder Bread. You know what I mean? Don't eat the bad roll that comes on something, you know, just make it worth it. And honestly, I'm working on this. I'm not perfect. I'm working on the meditation. I got 5 minutes yesterday and 5 minutes. I got 6 minutes today, just to take it all down a notch, not to do it, but, you know, so my adrenaline and cortisol is a little calm.
I have to ask you about that. And again, I really am grateful that you joined the show. Thank you for your support of the show.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of yours. That's why I wanted to get you on the show. But I had to ask you something about something you just alluded to, because I've taught myself to do this, to unwind at certain points of the day where I'm not staring at my computer. I'm not staring at the television. I'm not staring at my cell phone. I'm not listening to music. Can you describe that space, how you get there, and how important it is for people to exercise that?
Well, you could do it right now. And everyone that's listening, I don't care what you're doing, just stop. You don't have to stop even, just take a breath like this. Just go in your nose, blow it out. Do it one time. One time. Tell me if you felt that.
Felt amazing.
Right. And that was 1 second. Like in the middle of meetings, sometimes I would tell everyone, just stop 1 second. And you don't even have to blow it out of your mouth. You do it out of your nose so no one knows you're doing it. And it just brings everything down a notch. And it also, when you're in business meetings and you want to just tell people that they're doing a terrible job or they're stupid or whatever that you can't say, you just pull yourself back and then you think about how to say the same thing and not just like, I've learned that, being in corporate America, I had tricks to learn. So
yes, patience and tact, no doubt about it. And as you know, being a supporter, and I'm very gracious that you are, I'm also going to write a column about this amazing interview and podcast as well. But before I let you get out of here, it's only right that we do my rapid fire segment called Gone in 60 Seconds. You ready to do this?
I am ready.
Let's get it. Name one fellow professional makeup artist in the game that you're inspired by.
Mary Phillips.
Very nice. I'm surprised you didn't say Pat McGrath.
Well, Mary came to my head first. Pat's amazing.
Absolutely. Name one celebrity client who's the biggest joy for you to work with.
I would say Padma.
Name one makeup trend that you hope, as a legend, as an entrepreneur, you hope never comes back.
Well, it's here, so I'm going to have to get rid of it. And that's contouring, because that's telling people there's something wrong with their face.
I like what you did there. It's almost when people do a social post now, so many filters on top of filters on top of filters. You never truly get a chance to enjoy who the human being is, right?
No, good light is great. Good light is important to us, but, be real.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, and you're 64 years old, I need to be using what you're using on your face for real. I cannot lie. I grew up with bad skin, and I'm working on it. If you had to launch a product line outside of beauty and wellness, what would you sell?
Oh my God, there's so many things that I'm interested in. I would say shoes, because I think that I could make shoes really comfortable for women.
Bonus question, because I think you were about to go there. Did you have any recommendations for my skin when I told you that it used to be bad? Were you about to give me recommendations?
No, but I got to tell you how good your skin looks. No. But
thank you.
Any skin issue is not about what you're putting on your face. There's no miracle cream on the market. There's no cleanser. There's no anything. It's what you're putting in your body that makes the difference of your skin. It's your lifestyle and it's what you're putting in your body. And that's it. And if you have lines in your face, guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to make the lines look good. So
that is terrific advice. I'm forever grateful that you support and join the program. I'm a supporter of yours. I appreciate the package that you sent me. I will be reaching out and begging for more really soon.
Yeah, excellent. Much. And I would love to meet you in person so we could take our tall and short photos. I got them with all my players. Michael Strahan, I got them with all the guys.
Done and done. It will be my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.